Hey guys, we are live. Welcome to our second webinar of the Homeschooling the Hard Subjects series that we're doing. This is a series leading up to the homeschool collection. It's one we do every year. Last year we did one with the instructors coming in to talk to parents. And this year we have our kids classes, and they've been really great so far. Last week we had a great time with Meryl. Y'all will have to excuse the door slamming in the background. I have 5 kids, and me and Sandra were just talking about before we went live. She's got 4 kids. So we are homeschool parents just like you. So just bear with us if we have some kid interruptions, some hollering, some screaming. We're going to get through it. So anyways, I am Brooke. I am the owner and creator of Homeschool Resource Co. And I am here with you hosting this webinar with Sandra. She has a product in the homeschool collection with us as well. And that will be live at the end of July. July 27th is the homeschool collection. So that's going to be really fun to talk about later on. But I'm going to let Sandra introduce herself and talk about framework math for a minute.
All right. Well, thank you. I've been looking forward to this, having a chance to talk about math. Anytime I get that chance, people need to time me and stop me because I can go forever. So just really briefly, I am the author of the series Framework Math. And I'll talk more about it at the end and answer any questions if anybody has any. But this is a 5-volume workbook series. And it goes through addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And there's a intro book with a condensed version for older kids. So my very short story on what this is the main operations in math are kind of the majority of the curriculum in elementary school. And a lot of times kids, whatever curriculum you're using, or sometimes as homeschool parents, we try everything because we really are doing our best for our kids. And it's awesome that we have that opportunity. But switching curriculums can have as many challenges as staying with one, in the sense that sometimes there's gaps. So I created this curriculum to present to kids I like to call it like seeing math as the forest instead of the trees. You just see it as one big picture. So what we do in the very beginning book with seeing what numbers are, and we frame them in 10 frames. That's where framework comes from. That carries through every operation up through long division, the long division algorithm, which is usually one of the scariest things and something we might need to Google to remember as we're teaching our own kids. So I have had a lot of fun creating this and making it kid friendly, and have had a lot of fun working with parents as they're doing it. It's been, the whole program is great, whether you're working with kids starting from 6 years old or from however young you want to start them with it, or whether you're kind of getting to the point where you realize there's gaps and you want to go back and kind of speed through and get caught back up to speed, or whether you have students who are kind of struggling with any kind of issue. It helps because it's really hands-on and multisensory. That's my short version.
I love that. I have my daughter she's extremely smart. She has a reading level out of this world for her age, but she really struggles with math. Yeah. So we do a lot of hands-on things, and we've tried a lot of different programs. So I love that you're so excited about math. And I think that is really what makes a good math teacher is someone who is excited about it, because math is something that we use every day of our lives, but it is so hard for some kids, and like I said, I have a daughter who struggles with that. So I know exactly where you're coming from with that. So we're going to get right into the program today and let you go ahead and speak. I'm going to go off screen. I'm going to be monitoring the chat for you. If you need anything, or if you need me to pull up some slides or something for you, just holler at me and I'll be here. If anybody has any questions, don't forget to ask them in the chat. We will put them on the screen for Sandra, or if you have anything else to say, use that chat feature. We want to hear from you. So I'm going off screen. Let me know if you need anything.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So I have a link actually, Brooke, if you want to drop that link there. This is I'll see if I can show you kind of what we're looking at here. I have some guided notes and a series I have a lot of fun things planned. A whole free product that will help walk you through multiplication. So we are talking today all about multiplication. And we're going to start with some very simple single digit stuff and then show how that stretches. And the same things that you learn with multiplying, like 6 times 7, is going to help you with multiplying any number of digits, any number of numbers. So as we're going through this, you'll want that link. You can open it, print it out, or use it later if you just want to follow along. And there's a resource you can print out and use later. It's I actually didn't pull that slide up, so give me just a second here. This one is what I meant to have on screen. Okay, so if you can see here, we have, I'm just going to show you real quick here. Slideshow from beginning. And Brooke, if you can let me know whether anything I'm talking about on the screen is not actually there, then I'll get it figured out. So here is the link to the file that I prepared for you all. And this is an activity where you can kind of make a booklet, and it covers the main strategies for multiplication. So this class is for kids, but also for parents, anybody who's here. I'm going to be asking a lot of questions. When I teach online, I love to have a lot of interaction. I know I don't have your faces here, but please, whether you're kids or parents, just drop your answers anytime to anything I'm saying as we go here. And maybe I'll have Brooke help me when I get a comment, because I can't necessarily see them when I am on this. We'll get it figured out. Okay. So one thing I actually want to start with is just talking. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So before I get into the actual what multiplication is, I want to talk about my absolute favorite tool in math. And this is where I would love to hear any feedback. So this is my #1 absolute favorite tool, and I didn't even learn about it until I was out of the classroom. So I was a classroom teacher, math teacher for several years, and only learned about this when my own kids were young and starting to learn math. If you've ever seen one of these, just drop a yes or a no so I know who's here and if this is a new tool or not. This is called a Reck and Rec. Technically, a Reck and Rec is just the 2 rows, and it's often used in 1st and 2nd grade. But with a 10-row Reck and Rec, you can do everything for addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So we're going to be using this, and I want to talk for just a minute about some other things. So I always love doing DIY math tools because then kids have a lot more investment in it. This one is missing a row, but it's a 9-row Reck and Rec. So this is an example of, you can, with any number of things, you can use Cheerios and then eat it when you're done. But there's a lot of ways to make this. And we'll talk about what the key things are that make it a Reck and Rec versus just a toy. So this I bought from Target because I couldn't resist it. But this is much more a toy than a technical Reck and Rec. It is good for helping preschoolers count, and I have some preschoolers and they enjoy it. So it has a function, but it doesn't have the same function that a Reck and Rec does. So with that, I want to jump straight into our guided notes. So if you have them, you can pull them up.
All right, Sandra, I don't know if you can hear me, but it looks like we may have some technical trouble. I'm not hearing you. Let's see. All right, guys, give us just a minute as we try to figure this out. All right, guys, I don't know what happened, and I am not able to get in touch with Sandra right now. So I'd have to say that she is having some internet trouble. I have emailed her and I haven't heard back yet. So, what I'm going to have to say that we're going to do today is we're going to have to reschedule this webinar. Unfortunately, I am not prepared to teach math because I am not a math teacher. I actually have someone do that for me. So, anyways, guys, I am so sorry for the technical issues. I'm going to touch base with Sandra. And if you're on our email list or if you signed up for this webinar, I am so very sorry, but we will send out an update email to let you know when we're going to reschedule so that you guys can attend. Thank you all, and thank you for supporting Homeschool Resource Co. Be sure that you put on your schedules, on your calendars, that the homeschool collection will be going live at the end of this month, and it includes some amazing resources, and we've got some new things coming at you as well. So again, thank you for joining us live today, and we will reschedule this webinar. Be sure, let me check my calendar really quickly. It is, our next webinar is on the 18th with Suzanne, and it's going to be a Spanish webinar. So you can come back and enjoy Spanish with Suzanne from Flip Flop Spanish on the 20th at 2 p.m. All of that information is on our website at homeschoolresourceco.com. If you go over to events and click on the, I think it might say live webinars, and you can sign up for that one there to get notifications when we go live as well. So again, I'm sorry that we couldn't make this work today, but we will reschedule. I'd love to have Sandra back and have her finish her webinar. So thanks, guys.